Hey Book Dragons, I'm back. So I'm here to film my August TBR. August is going to be a bit of a crazy month. I am going out of the country again. I'm going to Italy for a 10-day trip. And I think I'm gonna like film like a separate TBR about the physical books I'm gonna bring with me to Italy and my Kindle TBR, because this video is gonna be long enough as it is because I'm participating in like I think it's like 3 different readathons. So I'm participating in the amazing readathon, which means all of the books on my TBR need to be blue because I'm on team blue. I'm participating in Aurelium, which is going to be mostly what this TBR is because it's going to be all the books that like I have to read for that. I'm like a mind walker, so I have quite a few books to read for that. And then I'm also doing the romance readathon as well, and I'm also going to try to do sequelathon when I come back, which is like a Patreon exclusive for Riley Marie. So yeah, there's a lot to be read this month, and I'm also going to be out of town for 10 days. A lot of stuff is happening like in my family. We have a lot of health issues, so that has also been weighing on my mind for the past couple of weeks. Things have kind of leveled out a little bit, which is a little bit on the mend. I never really talk about audiobooks in these videos because that's just like whatever I wanted picking up. I also do tend to listen to a lot of podcasts, and I know that when I go to Italy, I'm probably not going to be listening to a ton of audiobooks because it's just too loud, and I'm probably going to be listening to old podcasts. But yeah, so I'm a mind walker, and again, Book Roast has like all the videos, but I'm just going to tell you guys my immediate TBR, and I'm really tried for this TBR to do all books that are blue. I may have like, some may not be totally blue. We can start Aurelium a couple of days early, so I'm going to try to read all of my like non-blue books in those couple of days. They're not like a ton, just so that anything I read in August is going to be blue. And yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go through that, and then I'm gonna do another video that you guys are gonna see like Thursday, I think, or Tuesday, that is just going to be all of the random blue books on my TBR that may get pulled into this that are not currently on my TBR card. So I'm gonna go over the Aurelium TBR, and then I'm gonna go over the books that I just left in my TBR card. Most of them are blue for the amazing readathon. And I'm really excited to do that. And then my next video you guys will see is all the random blue books that I just have. I chose blue because it's my favorite color. Also, August is my birthday month, so I am probably gonna get a bunch of books anyway. But yeah, let's get into it. Before I start that, I am doing a secret project with Leandra from the TBR Zero Zone, and I gave her a book and she gave me a book. I don't know when I'm actually filming this, but her choice was for me to read Little Thieves by Margaret Owens. I picked this up from Pango, and it is blue, which works perfectly, so I'm so happy that I picked a blue book. I don't know what team she's on, but her book is not blue, so I hope it works for her color team as well. I started reading this like a very, very long time ago, and I put it down, but I am always better at reading physical books, so I have this. So let's get into the rest of the TBR. But I just had to remind myself to put my TBR, because then I would just forget about it, and I try to be responsible when I'm doing buddy reads. Okay, so I have to take Alchemy, and I need to read one book for that, and it's the first book in a series. So I'm going to pick up Scales and Sensibility by Stephanie Burgess. This is a Regency romance with dragons. I will admit, I really did like Fourth Wing. I didn't love it as much. I mean, I loved it. I gave it 5 stars, but I don't think it was the best book ever, but I am looking for more dragon-related content, so I'm going to pick up Scales and Sensibility. And I also did put the second book, but this one is blue, like very, very blue. So this might be the first book that I read that month because it is the first in a companion series, and it is blue. So that's really where my thought process went then. I just tried to get as many blue books on this TBR as I could. And then then I have to read a book for illusions. I need to read a book where my feet don't touch the floor. If you see my bed, this is where I read like 98% of the time, and I always read on my stomach. So, but I don't know if like you can get up and get down. Like that was like the confusion. So I just wound up grabbing a graphic novel. So I have volume 3 of Spy Family by Tashi Endo. I've never really read manga. This is the only series that really like piqued my interest. So this is the last volume that I actually do have. I actually have to go run to Target and pick up a couple more volumes, but I'm liking it. It's super fun, and I can probably read it in like a day. Again, this is blue, but it might be one of those books that I read like early. I don't don't know. Would you call this blue? Tell me in the comments, because I don't know if I don't know if it's blue. So, but I might just read this that first weekend and then get it done so that it doesn't really count towards the Amazing Readathon. It may not be blue. We will see. But yeah. Also, the only reason I'm like going through these prompts is they're actually prompts we currently have for the Romance Readathon and for the Amazing Readathon. They drop their prompts like randomly, so I don't really know any of those prompts. I just know for the Amazing Readathon you have to read blue books. So this is book for Illusions, read a book not on the floor. And then the next for, and then that's, I have to do 2 for Illusions. So the next level Illusions I have to do is I have to read a audiobook. So I'm going to pick up The Duke Gets Even by Joanna Shupe. Here is a photo of that. I always joke that I never put audiobooks on here because I very much am just like a mood reader, but it does have a blue cover. It is like the last book in a series, and I'm excited to see that, and that will probably be one of my first audiobooks after I finish Spy Family. Also, if you have never done this readathon, don't do what I did last year. If you're doing a class, make sure you do them in order or it doesn't count. So like I have to read Spy Family before I could do The Duke Gets Even. So just as a note, because I did not know that last year and it screwed me up. And then spells and incantations, read a graphic novel. So this one I don't know if it's blue, but I got Pirate and the Porcelain Girl by Emily Rayback, lettered by Luce Gaydon. This is from Simon & Schuster. It's a like a graphic novel for middle grade, and I think it has a trans main character. I think half the book has really, really pretty illustrations. This is an arc, but the rest is not. So I'm probably gonna read this that first weekend with Spy Family. You can make an argument that this is blue. You can make an argument that this is blue, but I thought this was fun and interesting, and the style like right off the bat is just very, very cute. And again, I'm kind of traveling. I'm gonna be near water in Italy, so I thought this would be a nice addition, and I do like pirates. And then I had, divination class. I had to do 3 levels of that, which is probably my most complicated one. So I had to do like pick a tarot and get like a book kind of loosely inspired by the tarot. And I had a card that was Judgment, and it had a character with like a hood, and it was blue, and it just kind of screamed this, Sing Me to Sleep. Why, I don't know. When I looked at it, I was like, oh, that reminds me of that. I have no idea what this is about, to be very honest with you. I don't know if this is like, I think it's like sea magic. But I just got this at ALA. I got to meet the author. She signed it to me. I also have the really pretty Fairy Loot edition. But I don't have a ton of YA fantasy on this TBR. So this kind of got like factored in for that. But it did remind me of that card, which is why I picked it. And then I also need to read a book that's set in the future, and so I'm gonna go get that book. I forgot about that book. Yeah, I have to read a book set in the future. This one was hard, but I found a book that like my arc is not blue, but the real cover is blue, so I'm gonna go get that. Cover online is blue, but this is like just purple, but this is like a wanted thief, a murdered empire, a killer somewhere on the station, Knives Out, go sci-fi, and this gripping YA mystery set in space. So I don't read a ton of sci-fi. Honestly, the only sci-fi series that I really read and loved was the Illuminate Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. But this one is super short, and I got this quite a long time ago. I got this at Comic-Con, I think, but sorry, the book's called Stars Hide Your Fire. But the book that I looked up online has like a blue accents in it, so I think that will work. And then my last book for that class for lore is I have to read a book that either has a character named Lily in it or has lilies on the cover. So I'm gonna read Shadow Sister by Lily Mead. I'm gonna attach a photo here. I'm a part of like the Lebo FM ALC program for educators, and Shadow Sister was an audiobook on that. It does have a lot of blue flowers, so it's definitely going to count for the Amazing Readathon. And that's another audiobook that I am going to count. I remember I didn't pick up a physical copy because I didn't know if I was going to love it, but I did get approved for the ALC, so I decided to add that to it. And then you can't give me a readathon, and if there's animal creatures to get, that I am not going to try to do it. So the prompt to get this animal creature is that it's a book that has to be between 400 and 450 pages. You have to have read the author before. you have to start the book at night. It has to have blue on the cover, and it has to be a 2002 or 2023 release. So I am going to read The Fall of Rune and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is her new book. I'm very excited for this. I remember I tried to get this copy from my friend and I failed. So once I'm done with this, I will give this book back to her. But again, Book Roast has a really nice video. I'm just kind of showing you the books on my physical TBR that connect to all of those challenges that are connected. So these are all of my Aurelium TBR. My goal for Aurelium, honestly, is to finish a lot of these books before I head to Italy, so that when I come back, I can kind of moon read and not be as stressed out. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's the plan. So these are all of my tentative Aurelium TBR books. I do have some graphic novels. I do have some shorter things, but this is my Aurelium TBR. And now I'm going to show you the other bluish books that I put on my TBR cart that are going to be the blue books that I'm going to pull once I'm done with this. So yeah, let's get to that. These are just the random blue books that I could have just left on my TBR cart. These are going to be the priority reads that I'm going to pull once I finish my Aurelium TBR, and that will kind of correspond to any other challenges. So I have Stars and Smoke by Mary Lou. This is a spy thriller that I didn't know what it was about, but I actually ordered a finished copy because I don't love the format of this arc. I got this so long ago. So I actually have a finished copy coming in the mail. So hopefully this will get read. I also have the Twyford Code by Janice Hallett. I have this from the library, but I also have an audiobook of this. So this might get one that I wind up listening to. I read The Appeal and didn't like it as much. And then I physically read The Appalachian Angels and did enjoy it. So I'm willing to give this one a shot. I also have Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle, which I like this. I want to read this one. This is the only YA book that Gavin recommended. So this is high on my TBR. I also have a Rachel Lynn Solomon book, Weather Girl. It's so blue. This will be perfect. This might be one of the books that I take with me to Italy, because if I have to leave it there, I don't think I'd be that upset with it. But it is very, very blue. I also have The Hat Makers. I got this rec from Leandra from the TBR Zone, and I hope I like it. I did get the audiobook for this one. So this is another one that I might just save for when I'm running errands before I go to Italy. We will see. Also, because I have been trying to read more adult fantasy, I do have The River Enchanted on my list for a adult fantasy book that I might tackle. I will talk about a couple of more in that video where I just kind of talk about some random blue books, but this one might get read for that reason. It's a former book of the month pick. I also just picked up a copy of The Ravenous Dead by Darcy Coates. I read The Whispering Dead and really, really liked it. I got this from Pango and it's so blue. Again, a book that might go to Italy with me. I haven't chose my Italy TBR yet, but I have to film that too. I'm going to do a bunch of books in that video and I'm going to kind of pull forward to take with me. I also have the second book in the Regency Dragons, Claws and Contraviances by Stephanie Burgess. Very, very blue. This would definitely work. And I want to read book one and see how I feel. I also have a YA fantasy book, The Forest Grimm by Catherine Purdy. This is her fairy tale-esque story, which I'm really excited to dive into. And then one more that I get the audio for is Tell Me What Really Happened by Chelsea Sadati. This I got from Comic-Con as well. So yeah, those are my books that are kind of filling up my TBR cart. Let me know in the comments if you're participating in any of these readathons. I love a readathon. I especially love a competitive readathon. So that is what I always look for when I pick readathons. And I like that that out of the couple that I'm doing, they're all competitive in some way, and I'm a very, very competitive person when it comes to reading. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what are some books you hope to read this month. And yeah, definitely stay tuned. I will definitely have videos for you but when I go to Italy and when I come back from Italy and all that other stuff. But yeah, it will be a fun month with a lot of reading. And I'm also just going to soak up summer because the school year is going to be chaotic. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Tell me in the comments what is one book you must read in the month of August. And if you're participating in any reading challenges, I would love to know. Bye.